You got lots and lots of different things from the Marvel Comics. Hey, my name is Brent here, and Cloudy of the Chance of Meeples. Today on the channel, we are going to be diving into the world of Codenames. Of course, Codenames, popular game, won German Game of the Year a few years back. It's a party game in which you'll have two directors trying to get their team to figure out some codes and some words and some, figure things out. So if you know how to play Codenames, this is Codenames Marvel. If you don't know how to play Codenames, I will show you shortly. My final forecast coming up. Cue the thunder. So the radar overview for Codenames Marvel looks something like this. Okay, so that didn't work out. Okay, let's try that again. It looks like this. Perfect. That is much, much better. So this is a game in which you'll be playing two different sides. Of course, you got Hydra versus Shield. You have a whole bunch of cards. It's the Marvel, not the cinematic universe, but it is like the comics. So I will be totally honest. Howard the Duck. I'll be totally honest. A lot of these I actually don't even know. Of course, you got Bullseye and Kraven, but you got many, many cards. I think it's about 200, so it's about half as many as normal Codenames, but it plays the same. You will have two players that will be leading each of their teams, and they will be sitting, I guess, kind of on one side of the table, and they will be looking at this. And Team Hydra will be trying to cover up all of their little red squares, while as Team Shield will be trying to do theirs. Of course, nobody wants to hit that one, because if someone guesses that one, which in this case would be Star-Lord, instantly that team would lose. You'd cover up with Thanos, and the game would be over. So you'll play this over multiple rounds, and like I said, you'll have, I guess, the director sitting on one side of the table. They will see each of these. The blue team will start. They will have one more card to cover up compared to the red one, and on their turn they will then say a clue and then say a number. So in this case, if you look at what they are wanting, they want, the Cube, as well as the Hulkbuster, as well as Nick Fury. So they want their team to be covering up those ones. So they may say, let's switch MODOK here, let's move him over. They may say, oh man, square for one. At that point, their team would be discussing this, and maybe they would then point to this. And of course, if it is blue, then they would cover it up. But let's say for some reason they picked, I don't even know what would they picked something else. Why they'd pick that, I don't know. But that would be nothing. You'd cover up with just a neutral Infinity Stone. But say, I don't know, that's a bad example, but maybe for some reason they pick something totally wrong. Maybe this looks like a square, okay? At that point, that would be the Hydra team. So then the Hydra team would then cover that up, and then you just keep going back and forth until one team, is able to cover up all of their specific images or squares that they need to cover up. Or, of course, if a team ever guesses Thanos or the one that's associated with that X, they would lose. So it's pretty much Codenames, just with a different theme. So that's pretty much, how you play Codenames Marvel. I will also say that in the rulebook, they have a few different other modes. They have the 2-player game, the 3-player game, and then alternate gameplay with experts and all sorts of things, because, well, let's be honest, if you're playing this with people that know a lot about Marvel, they will really be able to have some really creative clues that will reflect or coincide with deep storylines in the Marvel comics and stuff like that. It has the Avengers. It does not have the X-Men in this, which I'm sad about, because I do really like the X-Men, and I think I would have loved to see them do more of the cinematic universe, but more on that momentarily. That's the radar overview. On to the final forecast. So the final forecast for Codenames Marvel, as you saw in the radar overview, you got lots and lots of different things from the Marvel comics, not the cinematic universe. And I wish they would have done that in this one, because I think it would have opened things up for a lot more players. You get 200 pictures in this one, opposed to 400 in Codenames, just the base one with the words. So you get about half of the content. And I will say this, when the first time I ever played the original Codenames, I didn't fall in love with it. And I will be honest, I'm not one of those fans of the game that's I'm like, this is an absolutely amazing party game. I think there's a ton of better party games out there, but I understand the appeal to Codenames. But first time I ever played the original Codenames, I found it a challenge because of being the director. And if you're playing a game where, you know, someone is like insanely good with connecting different words, and you are definitely not as good at connecting different words, you're going to have a challenge and you're going to definitely lose. I think this version of the game just magnifies that like 1,000%. Because if you're going to play this game with, you know, just a mixed group of people, some know a lot about Marvel, some don't, and some maybe are middle of the road, much like myself. I'd say I'm kind of middle of the road. I know some stuff, but not a ton. People who know a ton of Marvel will absolutely mop the floor in this game, and it won't be fun for anybody else. So if you are a huge Marvel fan and you're part of a game group that absolutely loves comic books and Marvel, this is going to be a slam dunk for you. But if you are in the majority of people, not majority, but if you're in a group of people that doesn't know much about Marvel or outside of the cinematic universe, this is going to be a challenge for you. I will say I did enjoy this. I had fun with it, but I would say if you like Codenames, just stick with the original Codenames. I know there are tons of different ones. There's like a Harry Potter, as well as Simpsons and Disney and Pictures, and you know, you have the Duet, and you have there's lots of different versions of Codenames. So like it's obviously a very successful line of game. But if you are not like heavy into Marvel, I would say definitely don't pick this one up. But yeah, I enjoyed my time playing this. I actually like it better when it's kind of like one person trying to get everybody to work on it. I actually enjoy that the best. And they have like a scale. You kind of have like 8 turns to figure out all your cards. And I like that the best, actually, because then you're not competing against, you know, someone who has like an insane amount of knowledge of Marvel or connecting words. You're kind of like trying to figure out just how to work with your team. I like that the best. So overall, it's Codenames Marvel. So if you like those two, you're gonna like it. But there you have it, 65% chance of Meeples for this version. The other versions of Codenames, like just the base word game, would be higher than that, but this one I'm going to give it a 65% chance. So there you have it, Codenames Marvel. My name is Brent. Check us out on Facebook, Cloudy with a Chance of Meeples. Remember, grab your umbrella. The forecast is cloudy with a chance of Meeples.